Year is 1963. Ken Miles has just driven his Shelby Cobra 289 to a first place finish in the United States Road Racing Championship at a beautiful new track called Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. A track that will go on to host other racing greats like Emerson Fittipaldi and Mario Andretti.
Hey everybody, it's Jay and it's Mental, and we are just back from Mid-Ohio, our first race at that track where we were in the Midwest. It's Mid-Ohio and the driving was mid.
For 90% of our drivers, this is their first time ever racing at this track, and for about the first 15 minutes, it showed. Then, miraculously, everyone kind of figured it out, and much to our dismay, we only handed out like 2 or 3 penalties all weekend.
Among those handing out penalties were 2 of our very best judges, Janice and Randy. Well, Mental was there too.
Hey! Among the penalties we did dole out was the classic Saran Wrap penalty. This driver from Team Crash got 4 black flags in under 2 hours, and the last 2 were on consecutive laps at the same flag station.
I do not pay attention to yellow flag. Do not read me.
Things got even more hilarious when we found out who this guy is.
What do you do here at this track?
Apparently I break the rules.
Yeah?
Like I'm not supposed to.
Do you ever train people on anything?
Oh, wow, yes.
What do you train them on?
This very thing. Eyes up, safety, making sure that's first and foremost.
Awoo Racing got the dramatic reading penalty, and they had to read from Scooter Mania. Unsurprisingly, Team Awoo's dog, that was the most dramatic reader there.
We had some really outstanding themes at this race. Team Heads You Win, Tails We Lose brought an amazing mini golf bride that we later used as a penalty. They also had an amazing theme celebrating 250 years of the good old US of A. There was an eagle, Abraham Lincoln, Betsy Ross, Ben Franklin, and even the Statue of Liberty. Their car was so damn beautiful, we just had to use it as the background for the tribute to local Ohioan, performer, and free speech advocate, Afro Man.
Now your car's all messed up, and we know why. Hey, hey! Because you can't drive, because you can't drive, because you can't drive.
We always love seeing the Mustang with their cow theme? Well, a female moose is a cow, but this was clearly a bovine theme, and that was utterly Come on, who writes this?
Don't have a cow, man.
This time, More Right Rudder came back with a second porkin-themed cockroach on their car, male on top of female cockroach. Now, these things were kind of monster big, but of course, you know what they say, it's not the size of the cockroach that matters.
Now, guys, you know that's a lie.
And they even got creative by bribing us with a real-life Madagascar cockroach race, which was great. Thanks, guys. We love that. Don't ever do that again.
This BMW had a giant syringe on the roof, a little jab at Lance Armstrong. If you're gonna race a BMW, at least mount something to the roof. They were involved in a little fender bender that ended their weekend, but we'll circle back to that.
Red Ace Racing, themed as vault dwellers from the video game Fallout. They woke up from their cryo freeze and rode their MyVec-equipped Lancer to 15th overall in a Lancer.
How did a bone stock Mitsubishi finish 15th? Did no Honda survive the apocalypse?
I guess not.
Shifty Shift had a great skunk-themed Saab 9000, and surprisingly, it smelled great.
Now, guys, you know that's a lie.
And the Not E-Boys had a great Magic School Bus themed Honda with a roof scoop made out of
wood. What can't it do? This message brought to you by the Wood Council.
The Rumpelmints Porsche 944 was back. They brought their drunken bear wandering haplessly through the paddock, which of course is a throwback to the wonderful 1980s Rumpelmints ads of the hot babe riding a polar bear. Why not? And Maximum Effort brought a great Deadpool theme.
You may be wondering why the red suit. Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
The Jattern has been decked out in denim for a little while, but at this race it was their team members who were setting new fashion trends. They added some new Saturn belt buckles and rhinestone cowboy hats to their wardrobe. Hella sweet.
Team Non Sequitur has had this slow children at play theme going for so long it is basically now slow old men at play. And Bad Decisions huffed paint all the way through tech inspection, which I guess is a theme.
Everyone racers might have had something to do with that.
If you need a theme for your upcoming race, this has been on my theme list forever. Huffing paint.
Also, Mike is kind of his own theme.
Flush Rebel.
Anyway, Mike was driving a Malibu Max, which is, one of those sort of Schrodinger's cars, sort of part hatchback wagon, it's part Malibu, and it's 100% making you think, what the hell were they thinking? Have you seen these new hatchback wagon things that BMW came out with? We need one of those.
Sir, that's from 1995.
You're fired! What do you other idiots have for me?
Sir, it appears that we could just add some kind of hatchback waggedy ass to one of our extremely generic sedans, then just give it a hip new name with extra letters like Max with 2 X's.
Maxix. That's brilliant. How does Chief Vice President in charge of trendy nomenclature sound to you?
Slothman Racing went hard with the sloth theme, sloth bribes, and even sloth from the Goonies.
Number 814 had a save pit race theme, admittedly a little late.
We had our very own staff member, Eric, racing a beautiful Thunderbird done up like a Trans Am with his dad and his son. 3 generations racing together. That goes beyond hella sweet. That is straight up heartwarming.
And we had some outstanding paint jobs. And we had at least 3 professional drivers, including 2-time Le Mans winner Earl Bamber.
Aren't you worried that bringing so many pro drivers into Lemons is gonna ruin the vibe?
There's a vibe?
I guess not.
Earl raced with the Misfortune Cookies in their Mini Cooper. One of his teammates was Keely Bozen, who is the Cadillac Performance Program Manager. Saturday, they had a fuel pump issue. They wound up burning a hole in a piston. They got that worked out all overnight because these guys are racing professionals. And the next day, they went out and burned a whole bunch more pistons.
Pro drag racer Bo Butner was at this event with Team Bo Knows Lemons. Now, we've been bagging on him for his lack of theme for a while, and apparently we finally got through to him. He came to Mid-Ohio in a full lemon spirit with a Bo Force 1 theme. Well done, Bo!
And last but certainly not least, Formula One driver Tommy Byrne was there racing with a pile of dead raccoons.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Number 30, it's all about that waste, 96 BMW. This team drove 32 hours from Arizona. Unfortunately, their teammate, Marty Ceccarelli, passed away a few years ago, and they haven't raced with us since winning overall in Arizona back in 2020. Well, the team's finally back together, and they're honoring their friend by doing what he loved, racing in lemons. They came in 5th overall.
Still got it! Rookies Cougar Racing brought a BMW.
Why you no race Cougar?
And it was a bunch of dudes. Why you no be Cougars?
Hey, you remember those Midwestern Purdue students who spent their whole last race working on their broke-ass Escort?
I don't.
They may not be mechanical geniuses, but they're super nice people. So this time they won the participant-donated No Dicks Trophy, only to make that choice questionable by holding up the award ceremony for everyone else.
Hey, you remember that BMW incident we mentioned before? There was a Cobalt and an RX-7 involved in that too. And boy, this was really a high-speed, high-stakes, strategic kind of thing. I think we probably need to do a little Racer CSI on this one. Dude, it's BMW and he's respecting the blend line. Like, that threw off the balance of the whole universe.
Clearly, his tire pressures were outside of the GM Performance Division's recommendations, which is why he was unable to pass the GDRX-7.
Obviously, the supercharger from this highly technical performance machine was not making its max boost, causing a lag that resulted in unintended deceleration.
3 cars, 2 holes, boom.
Before this race, All Loon, No Tune got a prophetic email from Eric saying their head gasket was going to blow up, and sure enough, it blew on Friday. How did you predict this, Eric?
Just call me Nostradamus.
How do I die? Cream Logistics found themselves lacking compression on Saturday, which means it's time to spin the BMW Wheel of Misfortune.
Hold on to your butt.
And this cheaty BMW gave us a long lawyer statement denying claims of cheating against them. Those claims turned out to be the least of their issues. They had alignment issues and clutch issues and coolant holder issues and brake issues and probably some sort of belt tensioner issue because at one point it came in with the belt hanging halfway off. But hey, it didn't snap.
It's a miracle! All right, here are your class winners. Now, we don't often talk about Class A. This was lemonade, but in this instance, we had all kinds of teams coming back to tell us how great these guys were, helping them get their own cars back on the road. We love to see that. Nicely done. Class B was crowned victorious. Their probe was actually born as a race car, never street registered. Man, what is it doing here? And a Saturn SL1 Class C. Now, Manny, he's a part-time judge and full-time awesome team captain. He was running 2 Saturns. This was one of them. It blew up on Saturday, came in on the hook. They still won.
This team also brought a Saturn SW2, and both cars have great weight distribution, with most of that weight being on team captain Chris's credit cards.
Special award this weekend went to Paddock Lemons. Now, it wasn't all great for them. They did break their fuel line simply unloading the car from the trailer, but they had a great concept. They did the LeSabre up as Lone Star's Eagle 5.
On the count of 3. 1, 2...
Their crew included Yogurt, Lone Star, Princess Vespa, Dot Matrix, and of course...
Barf!
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Nah, that's my name. Barf!
And the best news is that car, during the weekend, it actually gained 355 horsepower.
Oh?
I mean, it was all from the tow truck.
No.
They finished dead last out of every car that even started, but you know what? Who cares? Their Schwartz was so huge, they couldn't even fit in for tech inspection.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
The I Got Screwed trophy went to Fat Bastard Racing in their Chrysler 5th Avenue. This car was the other antagonist half to Spaceballs theme. Dark Helmet was there, of course.
Ah! We've been jammed! Raspberry!
Along with his giant comb-wielding Spaceball minions. The 5th Avenue was done up as Helmet Ship, Spaceball 1, and handled great as long as you don't need to stop, turn, or accelerate. On Saturday, they blew the engine and oiled down the track to the tune of 14 bags of oil dry.
I think we're done for today. I hope I don't get hit out here. I just dumped a bunch of oil on the track.
They found a Dodge Dakota on Facebook Marketplace. They went out, they bought the whole truck, drove it back to the track, pulled the engine out, and swapped it in overnight. Unfortunately, early on Sunday, a piston and a whole bunch of the associated parts decided, screw this, and shot out the engine. They welded up all the porcupine holes, got it all back together, but not quite, because the very last intake bolt, snap! That's how you get screwed.
Our heroic fix winner, Project McCore Space Program, was back with their XR4 Ti. They blew their engine on test day and asked a local friend for his engine. Unfortunately, he was in the hospital recovering from a heart attack. Being the conscientious, compassionate folks they are, they went and stole his engine anyway. Team Captain Mike Berge was supposed to spearhead the potluck on Saturday night, but he was elbow deep in engine swap all night. His wife, the unsung heroic fixer, ended up single-handedly fixing dinner for the entire paddock. The team did eventually complete the engine swap and got out on track. Their friend pulled through the heart attack, and they not only gave him the trophy, they inducted him into the team. Heroes all around.
The Judge's Choice winner was Race Car Vitamin. They had a Sentra Silver theme, and they bribed with a whole bunch of vitamins and pills for geezers over 50.
Yeah, that vitamin bottle was suspiciously half empty Saturday morning.
This was a group of young people, and they just got it. They were kind, they were apologetic when they screwed up, they were polite every time they rolled through the penalty box, and that was a lot of times. It was an impressive inaugural performance for these rookies, but let's not forget the real MVP of this story, the pharmaceutical lobby.
Speaking of Big Pharma, Snap Crackle Pharmaceutical had a Miagra theme and kept it up all weekend. They handed out little blue pills and rode their Miata hard for more than 4 hours, I might add.
Now, guys, you know that's a lie.
The team captain's wife asked for double entendres and he gave it to her. Then she asked for a single entendre and they totally They made Eric the face of Miagra without his consent, which in reality is not that funny. I think these guys might be Miagra addicts. It's a serious problem and no one's taking it harder than their wives. They did, however, supply the number 7 Miata of a futile and stupid gesture with some crucial power plant frame bolts, so you might say Miagra helped them get it up and running. Thanks, Miagra! May cause sudden and uncontrollable acceleration with exposed open highways or freshly paved asphalt. Side effects may include excessive driving, spontaneous detailing, and an inflated sense of horsepower. Consult your mechanic immediately for check engine light remains on no longer than 4 hours.
There were a ton of great themes this time, but it's probably fine. They really put on a show for it. First, they came to HQ with a giant check to try to buy the track to turn it into a data center.
Thank God that sort of thing doesn't happen in reality. They also brought the patented Bishbot, which took our jobs. So for giving us a hopeful look at a dystopian future ruled by permanent, omniscient cadre of AI-enhanced tech oligarchs, we gave them the Halloween Meets Gasoline Award.
And that takes us to the top award, the IOE, which went to Peacockified Racing and their Hyundai Elantra, which finished 34th out of 90 cars, which for a Hyundai Elantra, pretty good. But let's talk about their theme. Super Judge Brian Trainer, aka B-Train, he missed this race at Mid-Ohio, even though it is his home track. Why? Because he and his brother decided instead, for their father's 80th birthday, they were going to take him to a NASCAR race at Bristol. That was a big sacrifice for Brian, and then after all that, tragically, Dad couldn't even go. No, and Dad's actually fine. He just, they showed up at his house and he said, I don't want to do that. That sounds horrible. Bug off.
Well, I guess when you're 80, you can do that.
So, Brian missed this race for absolutely no reason at all, but his team made sure to honor him in spirit. They had a whole B-Train theme. There were Bs and there were trains. And they spanked a lot of BMWs and Corvettes in their Elantra. IOE.
Here's lemons in a nutshell.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?